God's laws, when we examine this Bible and measure up to what God is expecting of us, that's what's going to make us prosper. Because you got people talking about, economics. We got to get into economics. We got to vote. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to put money together. That's not going to make us prosper. God is going to see to it that we prosper once we serve and please Him. Yes. That's a heavy point that the prophet was bringing out. Read that again.
Whose possessors slay them.
So it says, whose possessors? Who are the people that are possessed right now? No. So we are the ones that's possessed. We are a possession.
That's right.
The people that rule over us are possessing us. They never let us go when they brought us here on slave ship,
right,
and so-called emancipated us.
Right.
What did they give us after we were emancipated? Did they give us the manifestos from the ship so we could know our names, so we could know our true culture? Right. Did they tell us what part of Africa they got us off of? Did they tell us what was the name of the tribes we was from? They didn't emancipate nothing, because we're still in their possession to this day.
Right.
So it says, whose possessors slay them, read,
and hold themselves not guilty.
It could be on camera. When they go in the courtroom, they got the nerve to say, plead not guilty. Not guilty. Just a few years ago, what was it, about 4 or 5 years, well, 2 or 3 years ago, every other week there was a new brother getting shot down by the police.
Bring it out.
That wasn't warning enough for us. It's time for us to separate from this system,
right,
and gather together. Give me that, any more on that?
Oh, yeah.
Read.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
So look, those that sold us, they say what?
I am rich.
They ride through these neighborhoods and look at us with their kids and they say, son, daughter, thank God you ain't no nigga. Thank God you ain't no nigga. They ride through here just to see us in this simmering in our own stew, what they call it. All right, read.
And their own shepherds pity them not.
Our own people don't even pity us now. Who are our shepherds? Who's supposed to be leading the flock? These so-called churches. Because why? We are a spiritual people. All right, and we look for, it's in us to look for a connection to God. Because we're God's chosen people. That's why they gave us that false religion. They knew they had to give us something, because we would be looking for a spiritual connection to our Father when we in oppression. Because when you examine our history, this is our history. We went into slavery after slavery after slavery. And every time we went into that slavery, every time we suffered that oppression, we cried out to our God. So they said, let's change God. Let's give them a false God. So after we oppress them, after we put them in slavery, they'll cry out to us. Which don't make no sense, because we're looking for the same damn man that's doing it to us to help us out of it.
Bring it out.
That don't make no sense. It's time for us to wake up. What we got to do, any more on that? Zephaniah 2:1. Zephaniah 2:1. We got to stop playing. We got to come out of the ideologies of this place here, and we got to come back to this Bible. We got to gather together under the laws of God. Look at this sign. It's 12 tribes on that sign. Blacks, Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. Just imagine what we would be if we gathered our resources together. If we gathered all our knowledge together. If we separated from the ideology of this place. Imagine what would happen. Bro, you ever thought about that?
Sean.
What would happen? What's his name?
Sean.
What would happen if we all put our heads together, put our funds together, and put our minds together as one? That's what the Bible is telling us we got to do. Read.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Bring it up.
Gather yourselves together.
We got to gather together. We keep trying to find ways that we keep going to the people who doing it to us to get help.
Bring it out.
We keep trying to follow their way to help ourselves. Because how long we been voting?
Right. Bring it out.
How many years we been voting? it ain't did nothing but got worse. Since we've been voting, our conditions have got worse and worse and worse.
As my grandma said, they all could.
Right. Left wing, right wing, same damn bird. Read.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
We are the nation not desired. Come here, real quick before you go. We the nation not desired. All right, and as the men, let me real quick. Give me 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 2. As men, we gotta stand on godly principles, and we gotta hold our brothers and our family. You got family? You got a son, daughter? You got a wife? You gotta lead your family by God's law. Real quick, read that.
This is the book of 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 2.
What makes us men? What makes us men? Let me ask that question real quick. What makes us men? Huh? We're being providers, providing for our house. That's what else? You're being a provider. What makes a man a man?
Take care of his kids.
Take care of his kids.
Take care of his wife.
Take care of his wife.
Protector.
He's a protector of his family, protector of his community as well.
Right.
We as men, we got to take care of our communities.
That's right.
Because look at this. No other man of no other nation settles for this nonsense. You go over in so-called Whitefish Bay, you go over in Bayview, you go over in Shorewood, try to do some foolishness, and see don't the men of that community step to you first before the police do.
Right.
I haven't seen videos of men stepping to people, hey, what you doing around here?
Right.
Read that.
I go the way of all the earth.
This is King David. Before he died, he was talking to his son, King Solomon. You familiar with those characters? Read.
Be thou strong therefore, and show thyself a man.
So before he died, he charged his son, make sure you show yourself a man in this world. Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
And keep what?
Keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
That's what makes us a man. That's what we got to stand on, these godly principles. We got to make sure we are measuring ourselves up to these principles, and we got to make sure everything around us is measuring up to those principles. Because once you do that, everything around you is going to change. Once you come back to these principles, everything around you is going to change. Your friends are going to change. What, you smoke? They're going to be like, what, you don't smoke no more? Because once you start applying these principles, it's going to put the spirit that make you want to smoke, your spirit is going to be stronger, and one day you ain't going to have that urge to smoke no more.
Right.
Because this is going to take precedence over all those habits that we got. You smoke? So when your friends see you that you don't smoke no more, what you going to do? Let me tell y'all what y'all going to notice about y'all friends. A lot of our friends is only there because we like the same sin.
Right.
They're not really your friends.
Bring it up.
Teach.
You have to prove a person to see if that's really your friend. Any more on that?
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes, in his commandments.
We got to walk in the ways of God. We got to keep his statutes and commandments. The same commandments that we've been bringing out. They brought out Deuteronomy 22 and 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth to a man. You got to put on skirts and dresses. God knows your body, and he told you how to dress it. You see what I'm saying? God knows our body, and he told us how to dress it. He told you what to put in it and what not to put in it.
Read. In his judgments, in his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou dost, in whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
So when we keep God's laws, when we examine this Bible and measure up to what God is expecting of us, that's what's going to make us prosperous. Because you got people talking about, economics. We got to get into economics. We got to vote. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to put money together. That's not going to make us prosper. God is going to see to it that we prosper once we serve and please him.
That's right.
All right? You're a so-called Christian. You ever been to a church? A Baptist church. Baptists, listen, look at this. You see this man here? Church is the Antichrist.
Right.
They go against everything that God has told us. because we got a dietary law. Get the dietary law. I'm going to show you an example. Leviticus 11. Go to the part to where it says it's showing us what we can eat and what we cannot eat. What's that, 2?
We got 3 and 2 and 45 too.
To put a difference between...
45.
To put a difference. God gave us, when he created the animals, he put a difference in between what we can eat and what we cannot eat. All right? You got it?
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 45. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beast and of the fowl and of every living creature.
So he said, I want y'all to be holy like I'm holy. And then he goes into what to eat. It makes a difference what we eat.
Bring it out.
Because guess what? Read this.
And of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and every creature that creepeth upon the...
Wait a minute. Let me see. I just want to... Where he say? All right, read on.
And every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference.
To make a what?
To make a difference between the unclean and the clean.
So there's a difference. The unclean animals and the clean animals. Everything ain't food.
Right.
That's what God is telling us. You heard what I'm bringing out, sis? So what I'm showing them is that the Christian church goes against the Bible. It goes against Christ. All right? So we're going to start with the dietary law. He said he made a difference between what?
The unclean and the clean. In between the beasts that may be eaten.
Come back, sis. You about to miss it.
And the beasts that may not be eaten.
So there's a difference of what we can eat and what we can't eat. But what church say? What they say in church? They say, oh, just pray over it.
Right.
They be cooking hog mugs and chitlins in the church.
Right.
Ham hocks in the church. So, and they tell you all you got to do is pray over it. Well, that goes against what God says.
That's right.
Micah 3 and 6. Because God never changed. They try to make a separation between the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Bring it out.
But let me ask you this. When you read the New Testament, and you read about Paul, and you read about Peter, and you read about Christ, what were they teaching out of? The Bible that was there then, which was the Old Testament.
That's right.
So Christianity goes against what this Bible is talking about.
Right.
Do not follow these pastors in these wicked denominations. Baptist, Pentecostal, Episcopalians, name some. Throw some out. Mormonism, Moronism, whatever it is. Jehovah's Wickedness. Seven-day Adventists. Don't follow none of that stuff. Because I'm going to show you where that stuff come from. God gave law, statutes, and commandments to the Israelites.
That's right.
This is not a book of religion. This is our laws and our...
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord